This one? Now you can hear me, hopefully. I'm on my backup mic. I'm not sure why that wasn't working. That's weird. Welcome everybody to Lunch and Learn Live for the 12th of October. It is fantastic to see you arriving. All of you do say hello in the comment section. Let me know where in the world you are and what's for lunch. Always the fascinating things. I had miso soup and salad today. Look at me living on the edge, eating uncooked food, seeing what my tummy says. Ooh-wee. And a cup of green tea to follow. Oh, yes. Very good. Very good. I'm excited. Today we're going to talk about your body as your compass. Your body is your navigational equipment. During the course of the Renew training series that we ran throughout the course of September, we talked a lot about our body and our energy levels and how many of us were feeling quite exhausted. But I want to flip it over on the head and look at what is possible when we have a great relationship with our bodies, when we have a great relationship with our inner energy, and how we can actually use that beyond just feeling good, which is great. I mean, that's one reason to do it, just because you feel good, you feel strong, you feel vital. These are good reasons. But beyond that, how it can be part of your navigational equipment. So it's a great topic to discuss, and I'm looking forward to having a bit of a chat with you about it today. This comes out from a blog post that I wrote last week about your body as your compass, how to listen to your body and why you should start. If you haven't checked out the blog post yet, head on over to the blog, vitamini.co.uk/blog. You'll find all of the good blog things there and read some more details there. So good to see you all. Patricia is in Berlin and watching you is for lunch. I had my lunch some time ago. Zoe is in sunny Cardiff having freshly baked sourdough and not sure what. I like the sound of that, Zoe. Sounds great. Julie's having roasted vegetables and pasta. Yummy. Hi, Alison. Good to see you there. Tinica had some terrible vegan chili corn microwave pot. Well, I like your honesty. Corn, I'm just not certain about corn. It worries me. I don't trust it. Just don't trust it. I'm sure it's fine, and I probably shouldn't say things like that. Corn people would be very unhappy. But yes, I can appreciate that maybe we don't want to do that again, Tinica. And Jean is in Withensea with homemade vegetable soup and bread. Good to see you. Yummy lunches all round. It is a beautiful day here in the Cotswolds as well. We've got the sun out. And we've got the sun out for a couple of days now, which is really nice. Try and make the most of it while we can, right? I think all of us, I don't know if you're feeling the same, but I'm feeling like I can feel Halloween on the horizon, and that means the end of daylight savings. That means the short days. It means that crampy end to the year that always happens. And I'm starting to get a little antsy about it. I don't want it. There's my mama. Hello, mummy. There's my mummy in Tassie. That's my little girl. When she was very little then. It's a bit bigger than that now. Little darling. Good to see you all. Good to see you all. And Perrin is in Kent having lemon and coriander couscous and mackerel. That sounds so good. Oh, you lot. Amazing. So let's talk about your body as your compass. Let's talk about this. So here's the deal. Let's go big picture. I believe we were all put on this planet for a reason. I do. Some of us know what that reason is, and some of us are yet to discover what that reason is, and some of us may live and die and never know that reason, because it might have just been to have that one conversation with that young girl at the bus stop who was going to grow up to be the Prime Minister. You just don't know, right? Having said that, there is a great sense of fulfillment that comes from living one's life on purpose. And that is something that I do get to do every day, because I do know my purpose and I do live it every day. Doesn't mean I don't have weepy days when I feel like the world is going to hell in a handbasket and what the fuck can we do about it. Doesn't mean that I don't have days where I get short-tempered with my kids. Doesn't mean I don't have days where, I wonder, is it all worth it? And blah, 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 all of those things. But it doesn't take long, and it only takes a good friend or Greg or someone to remind me of my purpose and to get me back present to my center, and it does make sense again. What's this got to do with your body, I hear you ask? Well, the only way I can tell these days, when things are unfolding so fast in the world, about whether I am aligned with my purpose or off my purpose, is my body. My body is my compass. It's one of our soft power principles that we talk about here at One of Many. Your body is your compass. It will always point to your truth. It won't point to the truth with a capital T and a capital T. It will point to your truth. And I think the more that we do the practices that we talk about in our Living the Change program, the more that we do these practices where we let go of all of the feelings in our body so we can clean the instrument, where we let go of limiting beliefs so that we can clean the instrument, the more we let go of our limitations, the more open our body becomes to be the radio receiver for the moment, to practice the skill that we teach at Lead the Change Mastery level here at One of Many called discernment. The ability to feel your body's distinction between your yes and your no. So we all have, our body communicates to us in a way that will tell us if something is a yes and something is a no. So I remember back before James was born, I was running my business, Shift Speaker Training. And we had a very, very successful business. It was fantastic. And whilst I was largely out of Superwoman most of the time, there was a time where Greg and I were trying to conceive James, and my perfectionist was running riot, trying to do all of the things perfectly, and nothing was happening, right? It just wasn't happening. We got pregnant with twins, which was very exciting. And then we lost them to miscarriage, which was not very exciting. It was very, very difficult. And I believe this week actually is the week for parents who've lost children. So if that is you, sending a big old squishy cuddle from me to you, because it is tough, unborn and especially when they're born, but not exclusively. So we had a big wake up moment, I guess. And it forced us to really look long and hard forced me to look long and hard at my priorities. And I had a good look at what we were doing in the business, and I was good at it, and I loved it. Well, I did not like it, I loved it. I love teaching. I love helping people to make their impact in the world, and that's exactly what I was doing in Shift Speaker Training. But then something was telling me otherwise, and then I ended up having some palpitations, some heart palpitations. I'm like, what is this? Had them explored with the doctor, and it turns out they were just a few atrial ectopics, so random extra heartbeats. But I know myself better, and I thought, what is my body trying to tell me? What is my body trying to tell me? And I decided and spoke to Greg about it and said, I think we need to stop this business. We just need to stop it, because I'm not going to conceive unless there's space. We're not going to have a baby unless I make space for that to happen. So we just need to make the space. We need to stop. And Greg was like, well, what are we going to do? And I said, well, I don't know. All I know is we're going to stop. So to his credit, Greg has always been a great partner of mine in this respect, in that he listens to my body as much as I do. He often will come to me and say, well, what does your intuition tell you? What does your body tell you about this? Because over the last 13, 16, 18 years, I have without knowing this was what I was doing in the early days, let go of all of the stuff that is not me. And there's more to go, by the way. There's heaps of it. Still so much to go. But shedding the stuff that is not me, that gets in the way of me being able to hear my heart saying yes, or hear my heart saying no. And in this case, my heart very clearly was going, meaning no. Sometimes it's not my heart. Sometimes it's just a nervous feeling that I get in my tummy. That's like, this just doesn't feel right. Sometimes, my back starts to twinge a little bit. Sometimes it's just slowing down enough to feel the difference between where my body wants to go, yes, and where my body wants to go, no. Our body tells us. Our body tells us these things. But the problem is most of us do what I had been doing prior to that kind of moment, which is we switch off from it. We become a head on a stick and we forget the fact that we've got this amazing piece of machinery hanging off the bottom of our head, which will tell us so much information about whether something is right or wrong for us. In the comments, I would love to hear how your body communicates to you. What instances have you got of your body communicating to you like this? What sorts of things come up for you in this arena? Wow. Julie says, oh my God, I got those ectopic heartbeats too. I must look back at what was going on then to make sure it's not still an issue I'm trying to deal with. It's a good idea, Julie. Go back and see what was acute at that time. It's a good place to look. Patricia says, when younger, I twisted my ankle many times, and it was in hindsight always when I was not aligned and running around like a headless chicken. In the last 10 years, it hasn't happened, so I listen better to my body now. Great, Patricia. Great to hear. I love that. Alison says, my flag is when my breathing goes to pot. Then I know I have to stop. Well, that's it, right? And we will often get these big ones like the ectopics, like your sprained ankle, like your breathing. But the next iteration is to kind of come back, try and catch it earlier, right? And that's what, since then, I have really taken on with myself, is trying to catch myself earlier, catch these things earlier, feeling into, in the moment, does this feel like a yes? Does it feel like a no? So, during team meetings, there are times we did a 2-day planning meeting here last week with my integration team, my management team, and we were doing our seasonal planning for the autumn season. And there were times where I would stop talking and, stop kind of participating in the discussion, not because I was, leaving them to it, or which I was, but like letting them figure things out, but more because I was coming back and going, how does this feel in my body? Does my body feel a yes to this? Does it feel a no to this? What is my body telling me is the path forward here? And this embodied intelligence has become a real strength of mine, I think, in my ability to navigate through difficult times in my leadership. So I'm not saying I'm perfect, I'm far from it, but it is a real way that I am able to make decisions powerfully. So highly recommend starting to tune into your body and start to feel into your yes, because your purpose or your vision, and it doesn't matter which one you want to talk about in this context, becomes like a North Star, right? Or a radio tower, however you want to think about it, right? Maybe let's not mix our metaphors too much. Let's call it the radio tower, right? The signal generator that says this way, this way. And it is your body that picks that up. It is your body that feels, oh yeah, that yes, in that direction. Or, oh no, there's something about that feels wrong. Or, you park your car somewhere and you're like, oh, this feels a bit wrong. So you move your car, right? You trust it. Or you don't move your car and your car gets broken into for some people. Or you have a feeling like, oh, I really should, I don't know what sorts of decisions. Stephanie was telling a story at Be Wealth about how the audition for becoming a trainer for one of many, how she read the job description and kind of ignored it for a while, but then she was having a shower and she just got this, you should go for that job. She just kind of got the feeling in her body. She went back and she read the thing and all of her body was like, yes, I should do that. And just as well she did, because she's now our head trainer. So our bodies, our intuition will tell us these things if we feel it. And it doesn't have to be where your body's trying to stop you by doing nasty things to you. Your body also nudges you forward with this expansive feeling. So you can feel these expansive feelings as well. Things that you know, when you feel good. In her great book, Martha Beck's great book, The Way of Integrity, she says, the peace that you feel when you say to yourself, I am meant to be at peace. That's your body's yes. That's your body's way of saying yes. But most of us are too busy tearing around like Superwoman or like a headless chicken, as someone said earlier, to be able to hear our body's yes. So we only end up hearing when we're at the poor breathing, the rolled ankles, the ectopic heartbeats. So let's try and wind it back now. You know, many of you now have been through the renewed journey with us and you've started shedding some layers. Many of you here I know are with me in Living the Change, and you're doing this work. And what I want you to start to do is to slow down a little every day and feel what your body is saying about something. It doesn't have to be about everything. Just start once a day going, this choice. You know, do I want green tea or do I want a peppermint tea? Just slow down and feel what your body wants rather than what your head wants. Do I want to call my sister back now or do I want to do it tonight? Right? Just slow down. Take some little moments. It's in these tiny little micro moments that you start to build a relationship with this incredible radio receiver that you have that will make all of the difference in the world when navigating much bigger decisions. Like, you know, well, how do I lead my team through this corporate downsizing? Do I let this person go or do we take the risk? Especially in times of uncertainty where you just can't know the outcome of something. Trusting your intuition, trusting your body, slowing down enough to get yourself some spaciousness so you can feel what's going on makes all of the difference in the world. Alison says, hello from the Channel Tunnel. Hello, on the Eurostar on the way to work in France. How lovely, slightly envious. Been working way too long days as the last few weeks and months have been thinking I really need to take care of my body and mind as I'm living totally just in my head. So your talk is very timely. Well, I'm glad that that's helpful for you, Alison. That will make a real difference, right? So just start while you're there on the Channel Tunnel with whatever you've got to face and whatever work you're doing when you get off there. Ask yourself, you know, it's really good for kind of yes, no decisions or now, later decisions where you've got a really specific choice. You can really feel what your body wants just on those things. If you're kind of like, show me the way, body, it's a little bit too broad when you're first starting out. But just like on those little yes, no decisions, you can really make some headway. Julie says, really painful neck and shoulder spasms when I'm under stress that totally incapacitate me. Right. So Julie, our job is to catch those earlier now, right? What are the little twinges that tell you? Maybe for you, it's about just doing a little bit of this one every hour or so and go, how's my neck going? Does this feel good? Does this not feel good? Sharon says, I seem to go into hibernation. I just feel achy all over, tearful, and want to snuggle in bed. I think you ladies, a lot of you are describing like the end result of too long not listening to your body, right? These are the end results. What are the little tells? What are the earlier tells? Here we go. Ella says, last week I almost volunteered to be on the school bus organization committee. But every time I thought about it, there was tension in my solar plexus and a higher heart rate. When I messaged the chair that I'm withdrawing from standing, my body calmed down. The AGM was last night and it was rough. I'm glad I didn't stand. That's it, Ella. Now, of course, Ella is one of our Lead the Change graduates and on Mastery. And is also now doing the AV for our events. Yay! She's learning to be Barry. She's learning to replace Barry. And did a great event last weekend. It was so good having you here, Ella. But that's a really great example there from Ella of what we're talking about here, darlings, which is it's those littlest symptoms early on where I'm like, oh, should I be a yes to this? Oh, no, it doesn't feel right, right? It doesn't feel right. That's it. Sharon, now we're getting it. I grind my teeth in my sleep. So much that I wake up with headache and ulcers in my mouth. Okay, so let's make the changes early, right? This is good. Aisha says, today I've woken up feeling panicky, like I'm suddenly in overwhelm. I can't figure out why, but I just watched a soppy movie. And luckily I'm off work today. Well, that's really interesting, Aisha. So, couple of things, right? Couple of things if that's the case. Do some journaling, right? Do some journaling, see what's there. Ask yourself, last night when you went to bed, what decisions were you present to, or what issues were you present to? Because it might be that. Or what is next on the agenda? That's the other, when you wake up, sometimes it's whatever is the next on the agenda. It could also be that you've woken up because you're not working today and your superwoman's like, what do we do? It could be that. I'm not sure in your case. I think you're probably past that stage. And then the other thing just to check in on is sometimes if you're particularly empathic, it might not be your feelings. How's your daughter doing today? Is there anything going on for her? Because it could be her feelings you're picking up on. Or I know you've got a sister, Aisha. It could be something's going on with your sister. Sometimes when I wake up and I have unexpected anxiety, like I'm not with any dealing with anything, but I've got a nervousness in my tummy. If I can't see it in my own life, I will call two people, my mum and my sister Kath, because often I pick up on their stuff and they've got things going on at the time. We're very empathic, as human beings. We are animals, right? It's not just animals that feel other animals' fear, that feel other animals' emotional states. We are animals too, and we do it too. So just be aware of that too. That can really help. Tinika says, my body broke out in psoriasis in a really difficult time at work. It was a blessing, although it didn't feel like it at the time. I was forced to do a serious life check. Good. Ella, the flip side, I like this. She says, on the other hand, when I had an offer to work for you, I had happy tingles. I knew I would love it. Yes. Good. Well done. Love it. Belinda's saying, the one of many tools and courses have literally got me to a place of totally trusting my body, my feelings, and protecting myself with boundaries unashamedly. I love it. Yes, that's exactly right, Julie. There is a real link to setting boundaries with this stuff. So, and I can see someone's popped the link there for the Enough is Enough report, which is a free report that we give away to help you if you need to set boundaries. Yeah. Because clearly, often that is our body will say, no, stop. And we need to set boundaries on the back of our stop, right? So this is absolutely, those two go together, hand in glove. So my invitation for you this week, my loves, I want you to explore this. Because here at One of Many, we ran the Renew Challenge recently. We have Be Vital coming up in January, which is our next in-person, our next virtual retreat is coming up. I beg your pardon, it's in person. Our first in-person retreat that we are selling tickets for to the general public is coming up in January, and it is Be Vital. We'll be opening up ticket sales to that sometime. I think it's November is going to be happening, but let us know if you're interested early on. So yes, we have Be Vital, and we have all of these things that help you to get your body healthy and well. We have Living the Change, which helps you with your emotional body and gets you out of your limitations and gets you back into soft power. So you've got all of these things that we offer, but ultimately, for me, the reason we do all of this is so that we can live a life of meaning and purpose. And our body is the navigation equipment that we need to live that life on purpose. So all of this, I'm not healthy just because I want to look good or because because I feel better when my body is strong. I'm totally, what's the word about, it's totally because of the function of being able to navigate and have a meaningful life. Mercenary, that's the word I'm looking for. I'm totally mercenary about my body. I take care of it, not because I ought, I don't know I ought, but I take care of it because it shows me the way. And the only reason I want to be on this planet at this time is to live my purpose, whatever reason I chose to be on this planet. at this time. That is the most important thing. Everything else is secondary to that. And so looking after our body is key, but the reason is so that we can feel our yes, feel our no. Our yes is more on purpose, our no is more off purpose. And sometimes they feel direct, it feels wrong. Sometimes it doesn't feel wrong, it feels right, but your logic brain goes, no. I mean, I'm going to tell you, when I said to Greg, we need to stop the business, like just stop, my logic brain was screaming, don't be so stupid. What are you talking about? You can't just stop. You'll never be able to start it again. What are you going to do next? You're just going to be a mother? Are you going to only be a mother? Just a mother? Only a mother? Like all of this going around in my head. You'll get bored. Blah, blah, blah was what Superwoman wanted me to hear, right? But I knew that what felt right was space. We needed space. I didn't know what was going to come after. I didn't know after was going to come one of many. That's what happened after. I didn't know that. And it felt counter-logical to do it. It felt counter-logical to make that decision. But it was the right decision. It was absolutely the right decision. Yes, Julie's saying, I've rheumatoid arthritis and I do wonder if years and years of Superwoman has been a contributory factor. Julie, I wouldn't be surprised if that is the case. Alison Sabine, who is one of our Lead to the Change graduates, she's a certified coach and a certified trainer with us here at One of Many, is also a rheumatologist. And her area of interest is in how these inflammatory conditions are related to Superwoman and her friends, living out of alignment with ourselves, living lives out of alignment with our values. So yes, I 100% do think that would be the case. Any kind of autoimmune conditions where, it makes sense when you think about it at a metaphysical level. It kind of makes a poetic sense, if you like, makes a metaphysical kind of sense. When your body is attacking your body, and which is what's happening in rheumatoid arthritis and those sorts of inflammatory conditions, you're making antibodies to your own self. So there's some part. Now, this is not true, by the way, but it's an empowering approach to take. It can only result in you feeling better. What if there was a part of you that wasn't aligned with yourself? What if there was an emotional part of you that wasn't feeling fully expressed and wasn't feeling fully aligned, that your life wasn't matching it? Do that work alongside whatever your rheumatologist is telling you to do, and I guarantee you that you'll have a happier life, and quite possibly or probably have a bit of a remission in your rheumatoid symptoms too. I'm a doctor. I'm also, a scientist. I don't want to say this equals that, but what harm can it do to have a look into which aspects of myself am I fighting down? Because that's what happens in an autoimmune disease, right? Very good. Very, very good. So this week in the comment section, what are you going to pay attention to? Have you got a decision or things coming up this week that you're going to pay particular? I want you to give me a context that you're going to start paying particular attention to your body's feedback on. It might be your food choices. You might just pay attention to your food choices for a week, what your body says yes and what your body says no to. You might pay particular attention to your choice of who you spend time with. Maybe it's your company, like who you're going to be spending your time with. Which friends you want to see, when. Maybe you pay attention to that. Maybe you want to pay particular attention to moving your body for a week when your body wants to move. Maybe you want to pay particular attention to in the workplace. Maybe you're just going to catch yourself every hour and go, how does my body feel about what's going on right now? So give me a context this week of how you're going to apply what we've talked about today and what you're going to be focusing on. I want to hear. So Aisha says she is going to pay attention to her sleep. Beautiful. That sounds great. Who else? What are you going to be paying particular attention to, your yeses and your nos this week as we go forward, team? Let's hear some in the comment section before we head off, before we sign off. So Katie says, I'm going to listen to my body for food choices more, especially around coffee and less healthy options. Is it my head or my body that wants it? Good call. And Katie, on around food choices, also listen beyond, because sometimes your body might be saying, yeah, I really want the chocolate biscuit. But actually what it's saying is I want the sugar. And what it's actually saying is I'm tired. If you're going to make me do that, then I need an energy boost. So then you can pull it all the way back to that and go, okay, it's actually probably what it's looking for is the rest. So start to tune into that, which I think would be very good. Interesting. Stephanie says, I had rheumatoid arthritis and I went into remission the moment I felt how deeply in my body hatred was towards my hatred towards myself was. This is it. If you've got a difficult relationship with your body, it can absolutely express itself that way. Well, thank you for that powerful share, Stephanie. That's beautiful. Perrin says, every hour I'm going to ask myself if I'm at ease. How lovely. I love that. Julie, does the activity I'm considering feel like it will be truly replenishing, which is what I need to focus on just now? Great. This is so true. So just last night I had this exact thing. So I was feeling full up of emotion, like full up, weepy. Like I was crying about the sun on Sunday. Not because it was sunny. I was crying because the end of October and the end of the sun and the short days and and I went, well, hang on a second. Clearly there's some stuff getting in the way of me enjoying the sun. So I knew I had a lot of emotions. I knew I needed to do a dynamic meditation or a 5 rhythms dance class. And my dance class is an hour drive away. I was also tired because I hadn't had my sleep-ins over the weekend. I rely on my Saturday and Sunday sleep-ins. And I've had 2 weekends now without sleep-ins because they've been showing our house to people on the weekends. And I had an event this weekend. So I was tired and I'm like, can I drive all the way to Oxford and back for my 5 rhythms class? But just as you've said, Julie, I felt into it. I went, okay, yes, I'm sleepy in that, like my body feels like it wants to go to bed, but it's because I realized I felt into it. It's because of the emotion. It's how much emotion I've got in me. I drove to Oxford. I burned it up on the dance floor for 2 hours, had a big old weep and a rage and connection and all of the things on the dance floor. It was just so wonderful. Drove home last night, slept the sleep of the dead. Not very long, mind you. It was midnight by the time I went to bed, and it was 5 a.m. when Rosie came in for snuggles this morning. But I tell you, I feel more replenished on that 5.25 hours sleep today than I have on the 9 hours sleep that I've been having, for the rest of the week. So that's it, Julie. Sometimes going for that rest versus replenishment, rest would have said, no, don't go to Oxford to do the dancing, just rest. But replenishment said, no, go, invest, do the thing. And it was really well worth it. So that's good. Good. Debbie says, my throat. I've had problems with it for years. I've noticed this year that it flares up when Marta is in the room. Way to notice, Debbie. Patricia, I'm thinking of starting intermittent fasting. I need to listen how long and how many days a week would be optimal for me. Great. Good. Yes. Alison is going to focus on difficult decisions about a few key relationships in my life. Well done. Alison, am I replenishing in the evening? Good questions. Good. Yes, Cynthia says we had a weather change yesterday, so I have to be intentional in movement. Well done. Good. Well done. Joanna says, today is my birthday. Happy birthday. I've woken up with my soul and body feeling so full of abundance. Thank you, Be Wealth. She was at Be Wealth on the weekend. And the fact that my son has gone to school for the first time since the 1st of October. Hooray! I've decided to do work I want to do, and I've got so much done coming from that space. How beautiful. I love it. Well, darlings, this is the challenge for this week. Keep listening to your body. Keep listening. What is she telling you? When is she telling you yes, and when is she telling you no? If you come from that space and you work that relationship, you will find an extraordinary life awaits as you live from that beautiful co-creative relationship with your body. It'll tell you, your body is your compass. It always points to the truth. If today has been helpful, please do tag your friends or share this video to your Facebook page. We are on a mission to get these tools into the hands of over 1 million women worldwide. If you would like to get these tools into the hands of women in your corner of the world, do look into becoming a certified coach with us, or talk to us about bringing me as a speaker to events that you've got coming up. We would love to be of service in any way, shape, or form we can, because we are on a mission alongside you and we want to change the world. So please share and share widely. I look forward to seeing you next week on Lunch and Learn Live. Bye.